Introducing the first pusher-shooter games dropping in February of 2024. We got a half-cool month coming right up, and I'm pretty sure I got some games to show you that you haven't heard of. So what do you say we do this? Let's do it! The 1.0 release is finally coming. At least I hope it is. It's looking like it is, but we will never know for sure until the day is actually here. Or do we? Nonetheless, I am beyond excited for Wrath. Without a doubt, my most anticipated release in February. Developed by some of the best in the industry when it comes to level design, fluid movement, innovative weapons, and enemy design that manages to feel new and fresh, but familiar in an old school way. Now, if you haven't played the early access version of Wrath yet, let me give you a quick rundown of what it is. It is the Quake-like of Quake-likes. It takes the Quake formula, makes a bigger world, adds more movement mechanics, refreshes everything, but still manages to retain that old school feeling and look. So if you haven't jumped into the early access version of Wrath yet, then my suggestion is to hold off, as the 1.0 release is set to revamp even the first hub world that is available already. As is now, there are very little to no story elements present in the game, but the 1.0 is set to change that. There will be an interactable NPC with you from the very start, giving the whole game and your actions a whole new purpose, along with a ton of other level design changes and more. Then I'm just talking about the first hub world. In total, we will get improved enemy encounters, updated enemy AI, improved map layouts, better overall balance, increased overall performance, 3 bosses, 3 new weapons, making 9 in total, 4 new enemy types, making it 15 in total, 2 new sigils, 3 in total, 5 new artifacts, making it 10 in total, and a fully implemented story to the game. In other words, my friends, there are a ton of reasons to be excited for this 1.0 release. But let's just touch a little bit on the elephant in the room, shall we? The monstrous delay that has been brought upon Wrath, first slated to release in February of 2021, and we all know that did not happen. What is instead happening is a February of 2024 release. And I do understand there is a lot of skepticism in the room in regards to if the game will actually drop or not. And in all fairness, I understand the skepticism. But we cannot forget that the fact that Corona happened, which affected all of us in different ways. Reconstructing of the team was another factor. But what is a positive fact in all of this is that the release build has been played publicly, something that would not have happened if the game was not in a good state. In other words, it is coming, and it is coming in hotter than ever before. So hot, in fact, that my hypometer is about to just over-freaking load. But just to give us that extra reassurance, I actually went so far as to contact the lead developer behind Wrath, aka Christus. I might have known him from before, but that's out of context here. But we had a nice little conversation, and he indeed reassured me that yes, it is coming this February. Yes! Dark Forces Remastered has been brought to life by the team at Night Dive Studios, the same studio behind amazing remasters like Hold on, before I continue, I want to get something off my chest. It hurts so bad to say this, but I never played Star Wars Dark Forces. Nope, never did, never had any intention to do so either, until the news reached me a long time ago in a galaxy far away of a remaster. Instantly, I was interested, and my body was filled with holy macaronis telling me the Force is strong with this one. Honestly, the more I look at the game, the more excited I get every single time I peek at it. I love Star Wars. Likely not as much as our friend Melancholy Geek, but I mean, I'm an average Star Wars lover and a hardcore first-person shooter lover. I mean, the hardest of them all, with a passion for the retro kind.
This is so hard.
I'm definitely not that hard, but you know what I mean. In other words, this is so right up my alley as it can get. So what do we actually get from the remaster, you bald, hardcore first-person shooter fan? Well, let me make it simple for all of us. This is what the Steam page tells us. The remaster will let the game run on modern gaming devices at up to 4K resolution at 100 frames per second. Star Wars Dark Forces also offers upgraded gameplay, high-resolution textures, enhanced lighting and rendering, and support for gamepads. Honestly, that was all I needed to hear to get excited. Join me in exploring this remaster on February the 28th, with risk of being pushed due to another game on this list. But join the Discord to not miss it, okay? Psst, back in the day, this was the first Star Wars first-person shooter to ever release. If that's not cool, I don't know what is anymore.
Bring it on!
Slipgate is a classic retro shooter that leads you into brutal battles in the corridors of a military base overrun by demons. You become Jack Hammer Thompson, a fearless marine who never backs down from danger. Get back into action, save your wife and stop the end of the world coming. Wait, what? Coming? Save your wife and stop the end of the world from coming. Oh, okay, so the end of the world, we have to stop that. Oh, okay, yeah. Now, unfortunately, this one really slips. The developers, well, they are a cool bunch of folks. The game has a really silly but cool premise, and whoever said we don't need more Doom 3-like games out there, well, no one ever said that. Unfortunately, this is not going to scratch that itch for you. It has a demo available, and that is what I played. So I can't speak for the full game, but the demo... oh boy, it's a jank fest to say the least. Enemies, they teleport in front of you, spawn right behind you. Their movement is like if Donald Duck was trying to dance. And your own movement, well, it's not much better. Now before I continue, I want to disclose that this is the developer's first game and we all have to start somewhere, just as I said previous. That still does not take away the fact that the game is not good right now. It has potential, sure, but it needs a lot more time in the oven. Now, let's continue with the actual game, shall we? So the game is trying to harken back to the good old Quake, Doom, Half-Life and Sim days, according to the developers themselves. This, however, is not really felt in any aspect of the game apart from the visuals. I mean, take a listen to this music. Nope, I did not add in this music. This is actually the in-game music that you're hearing right now. Now take this music and listen to the sound of the enemies dying. Did you hear that Final Fantasy death sound? It's in the game! I mean, what? What was that? It sounded like a mix of Quake metal meets old school Metal Gear Solid in the FPS creator engine. I'm honestly not sure the game knows exactly what it wants to be. I for one had no idea when I played it, at least. I felt lost, really lost. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing that the game mixes different things and tries to create something unique, but it has to blend well together, else it does not opt for a good experience. Now I want to touch on the weapons, but without me really going into the weapons, saying much about them, I'll let you build your own opinion on them. But I want you to share that opinion in the comments.
need it anyway. A combat shotgun, best tool for close contact since 1993.
So, what do we have here? Well, my friends, definitely not my typical shooter, let me tell you that much. In short, this is an asymmetrical multiplayer game, I guess. The thing is, it plays like a wave-based shooter, but where the soldiers and Lightphobes are battling to control different points of interest on the map. And naturally, one would think, alright, the Lightphobes, they are controlled by AI, and the soldiers, well, they're player controlled. But you would be dead wrong. The Lightphobes are also player controlled with instant respawns, different monsters to play as and different attacks, much like playing the zombies in Left 4 Dead. But to make it even more simple so that we all can understand what Lightphobe actually is, the overall gameplay blends match-based shooters and zombie shooter games in a classic point capture setting, where both teams must race to capture an objective point, with only one team being able to capture the objective at any given time. It sounds like it could opt for some very fun community night gameplay. For how long will this actually stay fun? I mean, the maps, they look fairly simple and there's just one objective. Is there anything in this game to spice things up? Well, both yes and no. The soldier class has 5 different loadouts to choose from, all with different weapons and playstyles to them. But there is something that limits that playstyle and both make it very interesting at the same time. Now, as you might have noticed, every soldier has an orange light ball around them, and that is a special light. A special light that is required to actually see the Lightphobes. If a Lightphobe is outside of that light, there is no way for the soldier to spot them. And that opts for some gameplay variety for the Lightphobes, going stealth or head on. But it really limits the soldiers. There will be no way of sniping your enemies from afar. It will be close combat and more close combat, but still give a constant feeling of fear and immersion. What is your opinion on this strange orange light that is required to see your enemies? Leave a comment down below. So who's actually behind this game, huh? He goes by the name of Alan. The game has been developed by one developer over the span of 5 years. It started off as a small project and over time it kept growing and growing as Alan learned more and more about game development. The plan for the future is to expand the game to fully playable in single player as well, but for starters the core experience revolves around multiplayer. Now hold on.
Whoa, hang on, guys.
This one is actually looking a lot more interesting than it might seem at first glance. This is another solo developed game that has been cooking for 3 years. Same as the last one, this is the developer's first game. But that does not take away the fact that it can still be a great game. I mean, we all have to start somewhere, and some they just nail it from the very get-go. And this one, well, it shows potential. At the writing of this script, I have played the demo, dropping for the public on the 25th of January, and I had a good conversation with the developer. So let me give you a full rundown of what this game is all about. In Dead Alone, players can choose between 2 gripping game modes, Survival and Horde. In the Survival mode, you will have to navigate a fully open world, making crucial decisions on where to go, which enemies to confront, and how to manage your gear and fatigue, while scavenging for valuable loot. Alternatively, the Horde mode offers a more linear progression through sectors, challenging you to face waves of enemies and strategically upgrade your gear through a shop. Now, I do kinda like that we have 2 game modes to choose from, but there is always a risk of more is not always better. Maybe it would have been better to fully dedicate the focus into one mode. Now to my experience with the demo. First of all, it is very short. It feels like playing through a tutorial and that is it. But I have to say that the small part of the world that is shown in the demo is actually really gorgeous. Great lighting, good low poly models and textures. I can definitely see myself getting sucked into the open world of this game. What I didn't like, however, is how the guns sound, nor the animations on them. I mean, take a look at this. The game could also use some work on the enemy AI. They all walk in the same pattern, clumping together, making it feel like a set of ducklings walking after Mama Duck. That aside though, I was still impressed by the overall look, amount of inventory management, upgrades and overall atmosphere of the game that the environments bring. And I truly believe that the full experience has the power to add to the good aspects and turn them from good to really good. So in my opinion, it's worth keeping an eye on the game and at least give the demo a spin on the 25th.